This episode is brought to you by
Zocdoc. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. It came in so handy when I was going through my tooth ordeal last week.
Yeah, your dead tooth tried to make you dead.
Yes.
Stop putting off the doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/IMHO to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/IMHO.
Zocdoc.com/IMHO.
Ask us your questions. We'll give you our opinions. Tell us your stories. We'll give you our opinions. Read us from your diary. We'll give you our opinions. It's in my homosexual opinion. IMHO. The podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to IMHO, the podcast. That's Darby.
And I'm still Darby.
That's right, and I'm Alexis. We are back. You've gone.
What do you mean back?
You've gone again.
We were here last week.
Of course
we
were here
in studio last week.
We were in studio.
And I'd love for you to prove that we weren't.
And everyone loved the new split screen.
Yeah, it was great. Well, that was the week before. That was the week before.
What do you mean?
But yes.
Oh, listen, you went away, though, this weekend.
I did.
And I know that because I was in your house.
I went away and she broke the air conditioning.
But no, I didn't break. Hold on.
Well,
I didn't break the air
left
conditioner.
the apartment with air conditioning working and came home to a hot house. Explain that.
It was 90.
Is it my fault?
It was the minute you left, it went up to 94 degrees.
Because I was the hottest thing in the room. And when I left, finally, the heat had to go somewhere.
Yeah, so it went right into your apartment and then also outside because I was walking your dog 4 times a day.
Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Of course, you're welcome.
And
Thank you for leaving me some snacks. JB did get into some of those.
Okay, I got to be so for real with you. I did, and I'm glad you had them, and I wanted that for you.
Yeah.
I guess the chef meals that were in the fridge, Curtis had bought with the idea that when we come back from our trip, it'll be so late. We'll just heat them up. So last night, he opens the refrigerator. We just got in like last night. I'm so tired. And, tired. And he opens the refrigerator and he goes, oh, she ate them. And I was like, well, yeah, it kind of looked like we left them for her. I'm glad she ate them. So he ate a pizza and I just had a turkey sandwich. No, now that I'm back into turkey, I can't stop eating turkey sandwiches. I'm so for real.
That's why you're so tired, because of the tryptophan.
I don't think that happens in deli turkey. I think deli meat turkey is just sodium.
I've never been to Delhi. I love sodium.
Me too.
If someone
it's
said
bad.
you're only allowed to eat ice cream or sodium things for the rest of your life, I'm picking sodium every time.
Well, yeah, sodium's in everything.
Huh?
You wouldn't be able to drink water because most bottled waters, they put sodium in there to make it taste better.
I don't drink water.
That's true.
Were
Never
those
mind.
were those bottles of water? Were those also not for me? Because I did drink a
Everything
few
there
of
was
them.
for you. Everything there was for you.
Is that sweet? Except for the air conditioning.
Except for the air conditioning. No, it's not her fault. We had a heat wave this weekend, which is why we left.
Heat wave. And you went to Florida.
We live in an older building, so the air conditioner once a summer, the first heat wave, it always breaks down. And it just so happens.
It just so
was your
happens that
time.
2 out of those 3 last summers you have gone away and had me dog sit.
Yeah, which is great because I don't want to deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
And we came home last night and it was so cold because we desert that honestly, I was kind of grateful that we didn't have air conditioning.
Desert's cold at night.
I'm sorry, are you in the middle of something?
No, keep talking.
I'm talking to you.
I'm listening.
What are you doing?
I can't figure out my contacts. Is it the name, first name, or last name? Okay.
What are you doing?
Hold on 1 second.
Are you doing a bit? Are you making a phone call in the middle of this?
Shh, no. Don't worry about this. This is my business.
Oh my God, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Hi, Curtis.
You called my husband in the middle of this?
What? But do you mind? I'm on the phone. Curtis, I just found out. I just got word that I wasn't supposed to eat those meals that were left in the fridge towards the middle. So I just wanted to call and apologize to you publicly on the podcast. We're live right now and say I'm sorry.
They weren't my meals.
Huh?
You don't have to worry about me. They weren't my meals. Those were Drew's meals. So
They were mine?
You better apologize.
Who's Drew?
Wait, really? I thought
My secret boyfriend.
I
have a secret husband named Drew.
Oh, okay.
He's doing a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, but you're also doing a bit.
Yeah,
I'll take you to the bunker. It's not really like an underground thing. It's just a bunk bed.
Okay.
Top bottom
Apology
situation.
retracted. Bye, Curtis. Thank you so much.
He's going to take improv classes. He's working on it.
He's very funny, but it's really disturbing because he is very handsome.
It's its own thing. It's its own kind of comedy.
So I picked you up from the airport last night, Burbank.
Thanks for doing that.
Well, thank you for letting me use your car.
Of course.
Burbank, when I got out of the car at my house to drop me off and you switched to the driver's seat, Curtis stayed in the back. Is that how he stayed for the rest of the ride home?
He did.
So you drove, yeah.
Honestly, because we've just been together so much that we needed a little bit of separation. And the entire plane rides, because we took two.
Yeah.
We took two, but I got to be honest, I'm okay with it. We took two so that we could end up at Burbank.
There's nothing better.
There's
and
nothing
we
better.
live close.
There's nothing better. It's a 10-minute drive. It's incredible.
I got to be honest, the first time I ever heard about Burbank Airport was from the ladies at My Favorite Murder before we moved here. And now that we moved here,
It's my favorite airport, and I will pay
it's my favorite airport.
double just to fly in there.
I won't pay
Anyway.
double, but I'll let you pay double for me.
Oh, no problem. Oh, by the way, when we're going to our show in Chicago, June 8th, tickets are selling fast.
Yeah.
I'm flying out of Burbank. You're flying out of LAX.
Okay.
We're on the same plane.
Really? Mm-hmm. So they just taxi it over to LAX from Burbank, or what do they do?
What's a plane? They fly it. Don't be insane.
Oh.
But I think they pick up
Are
steerage
you
there.
Are you happy you're married?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I am. No, I love my husband. I love him so much. And
Tell everyone where you went.
I went to Tallahassee, Florida because his grandma died. Now, his grandma died in January. So we've had time to grieve. She was also 99, so she's had time to die.
It was fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not fine, but it's fine. You know what I mean?
Good for her.
Although, can I tell you, for Mother's Day, we went to like a little breakfast place near a hotel, and we ended up being sat next to a lesbian couple with a baby.
In Florida?
Yes, in Tallahassee.
They're brave.
You would have hated them. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Because
anyone that chooses to have babies. There's enough people.
That and
There's
they're
enough.
women. You're very misogynistic. And also,
I don't know
because
about that.
as soon as they got in the restaurant, they scoped out who they could talk to. And they started conversations
there we go.
with every table around them.
But now that I'm on
there wasn't a moment they weren't talking.
But now that I'm on anti-anxiety medications, I would have entertained it for much longer than what I used to have.
I was willing to entertain it because they were lesbians in Tallahassee.
Well, and that's also your
and
vibe.
I felt bad.
You like
I felt
entertaining.
bad.
You like chatting with strangers for just a limited amount of time.
Okay, and I did get in trouble in Las Vegas, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But as we're leaving the restaurant, it's pouring down rain because it's Florida. Okay, so that's fine. I know where I'm at.
But it's not like rain. It's like cold and dreary. It's like rainforest rain. It's
Humid.
still hot.
Humid.
You're
Humid.
still sweating.
Everything's wet.
But
Everything's
when
wet.
it's raining. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
but we're putting our raincoats on. And by that, I mean I'm helping Mama D put her raincoat on. I don't own one.
You should get one.
I'm already loud enough. I don't need my clothes to be louder than me.
I love my raincoat. It's from Rain Sisters.
Rain Sisters.
It's from Rain Sisters.
Hey, Rain Sisters.
They are
Hey,
so
Rain Sister,
cute. They're
you
not
are
a sponsor,
gonna be wet.
but I wish they were. They're so adorable.
Oh, good. Thank you for your sponsorship.
I fell in a puddle in mine.
As we're leaving, the chatty couple has decided to ask a follow-up question. Mm-hmm. And they're like, are you from here? As we're leaving, we're standing up.
They were
by the way.
excited to see gay people.
It was weird. No, they talk to everyone. They love.
Oh, they didn't discriminate.
It's like they went out and they were like, let's not talk to each other this entire time.
that's not
Let's
very
talk to everyone
Florida
around
of
us.
them.
Anyway, but Mama D, Mama D and her tone is sometimes questionable.
clipped.
It's clipped, yeah. So they're like, are you from here? And she's like, oh, I'm from Philadelphia, and they're from California. And then the lesbians go, wow. And then she goes, we're here because my mom died.
Oh.
And it immediately just kind of like, ruins the vibe
It
a
takes
little.
the wind out of the sails.
So they went, oh, I'm so sorry. But I jumped in because I wanted to kind of like smooth it out. And I was like, oh, but it's okay. No, she died back in January and she was 99. Like she lived a long time. And then like I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help them not make it so uncomfortable. Then one of the chatty lesbians was like, but it's still sad.
Yeah. I think that you accidentally got in. You thought you were going on their team, and they were already on your mom's team.
They were
your Mama D's team.
100%. Absolutely. And I made a mistake. Thankfully, we left, and I never have to see them again.
Yeah, but if they're listening, hi.
If you're listening, talk to each other. Are you avoiding?
Maybe
do you
that's
not
the
like
key.
each other?
Maybe that's the key to marriage. A long marriage is talking to everyone else. and not to your partner.
I like to talk at my partner.
When I was
No, go ahead.
when I was on my trip with my friend from Atlanta, she lived in Atlanta, so people would meet us. Atlanta, Georgia. So people would meet us and they'd be like, "Oh, where are y'all from?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm from LA. She's from Atlanta. We met in college," and we would do the whole thing. We did it a couple times. It was fun.
So we layovered in Las Vegas.
LV.
You can smoke inside. They have like smoking casinos inside the airport.
Yeah, there's a smoking room inside of the casino in the cruise ship.
Well, yeah, obviously you have to. Otherwise, you can't gamble if you're not smoking.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're at the Las Vegas airport. We're sitting down, and then this couple sits down with baby twins, and they sat right across from us. So we're making eye contact. And that I did want to interact because I was like, I want to talk about these twins.
Well,
yeah,
because when you see twins, you're like, that I am
twin
a
powers
twin.
activate. Exactly. I wanted to tell them all about me. But also, I thought they were trans. Not the twins. They might be. But the couple, he gave trans man vibes.
No, say what he looked like a trans man that you follow in the adult film industry. Is that what you said to me last night?
Not that I follow, but yeah, he looked a lot like this
Why don't
one
you follow?
trans
What's
man.
Wrong? What's wrong with trans men in adult films?
What?
Why don't you follow him? You don't follow him?
Oh, sorry. I only watch straight porn between cis people because I don't like watching God's mistakes fuck.
We're not God's mistakes.
You're not?
No.
Then who is? White guys.
White man.
You're
Yeah.
right. Right, man. So anyway, sorry. I got into Big Dipper for a second. So the twins with their parents, and the dad looks like a trans man porn star, and the woman is gorgeous. I have nothing to say. I don't know. So I was like, oh my God, I wonder if that's him. And he was the one that had the babies. That's so exciting. So I was going to be like, I see you. You're safe. I love you. And we start conversation, quickly realize he is not. He's not a trans man. He's ex-military from Indiana, super Christian, has Bible verses tattooed all over his arms. It was a boy and a girl twin. And he's like, I was just glad that it was, I looked at my wife and I said, finally a boy. So as long as I have a boy to play football with. And I was like, I didn't say this, but I was thinking, you don't know that you're going to play football with that little boy?
Yeah.
You don't know that little boy wants to play football?
No.
But anyway, they were very friendly. But Christian.
Yeah.
And I do regret it.
You just proved.
I mistaked those Christians for trans people, and that's why we have these laws in place.
That's you just proved.
That's why we need more laws.
You just actually proved why these laws and these legislations and executive orders are so
good.
Dangerous because they affect everyone. You thought that man was trans, and you were about to out him in front of the Las Vegas authorities and the smokers.
What do you mean I was going to out him?
You were going to.
What do you think I was going to do?
Every time you see a trans person, you stand up and yell, "You're safe, trans!"
No, I don't.
You don't?
I walk away and I scream, he's not what you think he is!
Yeah.
No.
And so they could have tackled him or whatever. That's kind of football.
You can't tackle in Las Vegas. Anything that happens in Vegas can stay in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Including tackle.
Can I tell you, though?
Bait and tackle. And I'm not talking fishing.
First of all, you know those giant machines? They're like...
those quarter pushers.
The quarter pusher machines, and they're giant, and I never know what the rules are. I don't know how to play it. I don't understand it.
Me and Sam tried to play one on the cruise.
The Las Vegas airport,
they have them.
They have, one particular row was the Alexis Bevel's row, and it made me giggle.
What was it?
Because there were 5 machines right next to each other. 2 of them were Crazy Rich Asians.
I love that movie.
And 3 of them were Game of Thrones. And they were all just together. So I did play one round, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I immediately lost $5. But you know what is great about that?
You gained life experience.
I was going to say that I stole $5 from the person next to me. But yeah, I also learned other things.
That is so fun.
Yeah. So anyway, next time you see someone who you think might be a trans porn star, just know they could also be a Christian. So be careful.
Yeah. And the differences are, they're there, but they're little. They're
small. They're small.
Did you ever do Spot the Difference?
That Venn diagram is...
what was it? Zoo Books? Spot the Difference?
No, I never got the Zoo Books.
Find
Highlights.
Highlights. There we go.
Highlights. You'd go to... Kids, before we had phones, you go to the doctor, okay? And then you'd get a magazine. And the whole point of this fucking magazine is that there are hidden objects on the cover, and you have to find the hidden objects. Well, guess what? The sick child who was there before you has already circled everything in marker.
Yeah, and you can't get mad at him because he's sick.
You don't have a phone, so guess what you do? you pretend you're finding them for the first time. I'm sorry, am I interrupting something else? Do you have another phone call to suddenly make?
No, I'm getting to the emails because I feel us transitioning into emails.
Transitioning. Any excuse to bring it back to that. Remember, she could also be Christianing. We're stopping the hilarity to thank today's sponsor, which is Zocdoc.
Zocdoc?
Zocdoc. You needed Zocdoc recently because you had a tooth that was trying to end your life?
It was trying to clear my bank account of money and clear my life of life.
And luckily, because she doesn't have any money in her bank account, it couldn't get to her money.
Well, I did what you shouldn't do, which was just Google.
I knew it.
What I should have done. I don't know why I didn't think of it, but I was in pain. So I was blinded by pain. Immediately,
the pain.
I should have gone to Zocdoc. And then what really happened was the next day you said, "Hey, Alexis, dummy, you beautiful, beautiful dummy. You look so beautiful even when you're in pain."
I didn't say that.
We're going to Zocdoc and
Yeah.
we're going to find a dentist that's going to help you quickly. And that's exactly what happened.
And you have reviews and there's no guesswork.
No.
I'm sorry that you went through that,
But
I'm glad that you got the karma you deserved by not using Zocdoc.
No, I didn't do any karma. I did dentist.
Okay. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click instantly to book an appointment.
Oh my God, absolutely. And don't be like this one right here. I'm pointing to myself. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/IMHO to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/IMHO.
Zocdoc.com/IMHO. I want to get into some emails because we got a couple of really good ones.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and read this one. The title is I Almost Drowned Once and I Thought It Was Because of the Gay Thoughts.
Probably was. I agree.
Yeah. Hello, Alexis and Darby. Thank you for providing adequate content for me to consume while I struggle in my mid-20s with how to be an adult.
Not adequate.
Buckle your holes. I have a Death Equals Lady story for y'all.
Are you a pirate?
I'm a pirate, actually. Oh, that's so funny.
Huh.
I'm a pirate today.
Did you plan that?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing.
Whose hair is that?
This is a wig.
I thought that was your hair for a second.
Isn't it just like my hair?
Yeah, that's
Thank
crazy.
You. Thank you. Well, the problem is
You
because...
have great hair.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
thick. It's thick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel really proud of it. Okay. So this happened when I was around 16, I think, during a scouting trip. Very cursed, parentheses. The other scouts and supervisors booked us at this really sketchy hotel the night before we arrived at the campsite. This is kind of important for context. The hotel was so sketchy. Like there was a vending machine in the hallway that looked like it was from the 80s. The hallway leading to our hotel room had yellowed and peeling wallpaper, and our door had scratches all over it.
Oh.
Anyways.
Scratches.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all get ready for bed, and I ended up having to share my bed with this one friend in my troop who was so hot, and I wanted to fuck him so bad, but I tried not to think about it because we were all Mormon LMAO. Anyways, that night, I remember at like 2 a.m., the door slammed open, and these two women with huge hiking backpacks walked in, saw us, and started yelling at us, and then walked out of the door. Everyone was so confused, and it was really scary. Looking back at it, the hotel worker must have accidentally assigned our rooms to them, but at the time, I was so scared, and I wanted to curl up next to my very hot friend. Very damsel in distress tease for me. It was then that I concluded that God had sent those women to our room to test if I could be strong enough to not have gay thoughts, and I had failed LMAO.
Oh, no.
Anyways, the next day we arrived at the campsite, and one of the first things we did was whitewater rafting. It was actually a super fun experience for the most part, but around 3/4 of the way through, we went through a really rough patch with the craziest currents. We avoided most of the obstacles, but around the end we couldn't avoid hitting one obstacle, and the front of the raft slammed into this huge rock, which caused the person at the very back of the raft, parentheses me, to launch into the air and plunge into the currents.
Hey, that's funny.
We had made it through a majority of the waves, but I remember being submerged and thrown about for maybe like 5 or 6 seconds before reaching a point where the water got calmer.
Yeah, but you like that, don't you?
We were told before we got into the rafts that if we fall, we should go
Die.
into fetal position and let the waves carry us to a point where there were no currents. But obviously, I was panicked. I was thrashing about because I did that. My foot got lodged in between some rocks at the bottom of the river. The river was not super deep, but I'd say there was a good 4 or 5 inches of water above my face. At this point, I already
Is this
felt...
email from heaven?
No.
Oh.
At this point, I already felt dizzy from the lack of air and I thought I was going to die. I remember my last thoughts were being how disappointed I was in myself for thinking about having sex with my friend the night before, as if that's the reason my foot got stuck in some rocks. I tried a few more times to swim up to the surface, but at some point, I kind of just gave up. LOL. It was super cunty though, because at some point, my friend ended up being the one that found me and grabbed my arm to pull me out of the water. And I think that's why I'm in love with him to this day, which was so problematic for me at the time, since the reason I had almost died was because I wanted him, or so I thought. Anyways, he's still in the Mormon church, and I think he's got married like 2 years ago. LOL. Hope the story brought you some sort of chuckle. If not, just let me know and I'll Venmo you $10. Mwah.
Did they include a name?
They didn't say if we could
Almost
say.
drowned Mormon. Okay, almost drowned Mormon.
Ex-Mormon.
Wow.
This was a harrowing tale.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Almost drowned Mormon. I do think it's because you were
You
gay.
had naughty
And I
thoughts.
do think God was trying to kill you.
But I also do
But I think the devil works harder than God.
the
and he
devil works
saved
hard.
you.
Yeah, the devil works. Being stuck. Have you ever almost drowned? Tell me about that.
As soon as you read the part of I just kind of gave up, I had that exact same thought. Okay, Naya Rivera, may she rest in peace.
Oh.
I don't think you realize how easy it is to drown.
I think about it all the time.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's something I'd never considered until I was in high school. I think I was a senior in high school, and I was in Branson, Missouri. I had gone to visit my friend Jessica Bartz. I don't know what she's up to. She used to wear a ponytail. She had red hair. She had a red, like, bob, and then she'd wear a ponytail in the center of her head, and I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Jessica Bartz.
Jessica Bartz. And I got a Honda Accord, 1993 Honda Accord as my first car because I desperately wanted the exact same car that she had. I was obsessed with her.
Our
She has a
icon.
beautiful
Look around. Hey,
voice.
young kids, look. Don't listen to this, but look around you. Icons are there.
They're there. Jessica
Gay
Bartz
icons
was
are there.
So we were in Branson because she was in a show in Branson, and I was like, I can't believe that. That's incredible.
Jessica Bartz.
Jessica Bartz.
Should we get her on the
Bartz.
pod?
I don't know what her affiliations are at the moment, and I get a little nervous looking back. She was a very liberal-minded woman in the fact that she introduced me to Britney Spears via a cassette
What
single.
if she married a man named Joe Simpson and then hyphenated her name to Jessica Bartz
Actually, her
Simpson?
name is Joseph, or her husband's name is Joseph.
Okay, how did I know that?
Isn't that crazy?
That's
I
incredible.
think it's Joseph. It's okay. I'm not supposed to know. We're there visiting, and she's like, the cast of like this show, we're doing a lake day. And so my mom was like, well, why don't you go with the kids and you do lake day with them? And then her mom and I will go, bop around Branson and look at, I don't know, donuts.
Wait, how old were you? Upper teens?
I was 16 or 17, yeah. So we get on this boat, and it's all gay British dancers.
Oh.
But I'm so insecure, and I'm the youngest by like years that
Yeah.
I have to say I was miserable. They drive the boat over to this like cliff, and it's where everyone jumps off. So there's just a crowd. Again, we didn't have phones. There was a crowd of boats all pulled up to watch people jumping off the cliff. Well, all the dancers were like, I want to jump off the cliff.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off the cliff.
I bet they wanted to do like...
Jessica Bartz, I'm going to jump off the cliff. So I was like, well, if Jessica Bartz is going to jump off the cliff, I will jump off the cliff.
Wait, I know this story.
So we jump off the boat. The professional dancers swam quickly and swiftly to the cliff. Mm-hmm. I began to swim and then quickly realized I don't have the arm power for that at all.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I had that moment where I went, I'm about to die. I'm going to drown.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to drown. Luckily, one of the boats nearby noticed that I was drowning. And so they threw a life jacket at me.
They threw a life jacket at you.
Yeah. Or like, the
life
the
ring,
floaties. Yeah, like the floaty like square seat things.
Oh.
Like a paddleboard type thing. They threw that at me so that I wouldn't drown. And of course, I already felt stupid being there, being so young and insecure. And then I almost drowned. And so Jessica saw it, and she swam back and stayed with me while everyone, I know.
Jessica
but
Bartz
that's all to
Simpson.
say. It's, y'all, you can drown so easy.
Yeah.
Be careful. For real. For real.
Yeah.
If you are not a marathon runner, you are not a swim to the cliff swimmer.
And even if you are,
It's hard.
It's hard. I'll tell you
So I
this.
get the giving up.
The story that I relate most to this is when I was in middle school. I was forced to go to church camp a week every summer in Abilene, Texas.
Oh, no.
Abilene Christian University. But my first year there, I met these twins, trend alert.
Hot.
I met these twins. I won't say their last name because you can find them, but their names were Kurt and Chris.
Kurt and Chris.
Yeah,
I hate
with
that.
K's, both with K's.
I hate that even more.
We got thrown, me and Kurt, they grouped everyone off. And in our group, we had to go around and say an adjective with the same letter as our name. And that's how we learned all of our names. So I was Awesome Alex. And he was.
Awesome.
Yeah, no. And he was Kurt. And I immediately was like, I'm obsessed with you. You're super hot. And there's two of you.
Everyone from Curtis's family calls him Kurt.
Yeah, but Curtis is a
so
C.
Weird. It's
this
so
is a
weird.
K.
It's weird
So
to hear.
anyway,
Yeah.
I look at him and what do you do when you're deep undercover as a young gay boy in middle school? You try to set up all your girlfriends with him.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do that with this girl named Lindsay Scraggs. Hey, girl, I love you. I think they dated, but we were only there for a week. He did not live anywhere near me. Anyway, the point that I'm about to get to is you can go swimming every day.
Okay.
I had a different swimsuit for each day.
Hell yeah.
But one of the days we were in the deep end, me and Kurt, and we were trying to see who could go to the very bottom of this Olympic college-sized swimming pool.
I loved
and see who could come up, like stay there the longest and then get back up without, whatever.
Dying.
Little games kids play.
Yeah.
I went to the bottom and I wanted to impress this boy so hard so he would date my friend Lindsay Scraggs, i.e. fantasize about I could date him.
Sure.
And I was having trouble getting back up to the surface. I was just like our caller, about 5 inches from and he reached down and he grabbed my arm and he pulled me up.
That's so hot.
And I felt like that scene in Little Mermaid where she comes up and flips her hair. And I just remember being like, and it was so romantic. I wrote him I wrote him like a 2-page letter when I got home from camp that night.
You wrote him a letter?
I took church camp so seriously. Not just him. Everyone I met that I became friends with, I wrote a 2-page letter. I hand wrote 14 different 2-page letters to tell everyone how much I enjoyed camp and what I had planned for the summer. And I didn't get one response back. The next year, Kurt was in a different group, but I was in the same group as his brother Chris, and then me and Chris became friends. But I always wanted to be with Kurt. It's hard.
That's so sad. Like, no, listen, we as queer people, we get to have sad childhoods.
Yeah.
But every time you tell a story, there's a darker level to it.
But I do remember just like, not even in a sexual way, just like needing this man. Like when I was little.
100%.
And then the idea of the last night, I hope he never hears this. This is embarrassing. The last night you could, because we stayed in the dorms at Abilene Christian University. And the last night, if you wanted to, and if you got approved from your like dorm leader or whatever, you could sleep in another guy's room. You could trade rooms and have sleepovers. And I slept in his room. I spent all night. Should I take my shirt off? I don't know. And then I'd take it off and then I put it back on. And then I'd be like, wait, should I sleep on the bed? Like the other bed? Or should I sleep on the floor next to him? And then I would just go back and forth. I'm sure he thought I was so weird.
Oh, bitch. I had that exact experience.
Yeah.
When I was 14, sorry to brag, I was 14. When I was 14, the weird kid in concert choir. There were only 3 freshmen in concert choir. That was me, my best friend Betsy.
Me too.
And this weird kid.
There was only 3 boys allowed. It was me, Nick Lycos, and...
Can I just have one thing?
Yeah. We have a husband and a dog.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy. You're right. Never mind. Weird kid was moving, and he was one of those kids, those kids who have parents that clearly don't care about them.
Yes.
And so they're alone all the time and they shouldn't be.
Of course.
That was this kid. So he said, hey, I'm moving tomorrow, but I'm staying home alone. My parents have already moved. And he's 14. I'm having to wait for the movers to come to like show them what to like take.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
It was such a different time.
It was 1999. 98 or 99.
The towers.
The towers were still standing. They were so strong. We had no idea what lay ahead. Anyway, so I felt so bad for him that I was like, sure. And my brother was the popular twin. So like he was always at sleepovers with boys and I only had girlfriends. So like.
And you weren't allowed to sleep over with them.
No. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll do it. Plus like the idea that we were going to be staying alone. It was like, ooh, we have a whole house. This is so exciting.
Thrilling.
Thrilling. So as we're hanging out, we're doing the thing. You know, again, kids, we didn't have internet. And so you could turn on cable, and if you didn't have the channel, it wasn't a blue screen, it was the channel, and it would just be like
It was fuzzy,
staticky.
and it was like, it would kind of roll.
It would roll.
Yeah.
And you could still sort of hear it too. So we turned on Cinemax to do that.
Oh, dear.
Things are happening, and I'm like, but I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to feel because I was very Christian, okay? So we do little things, not a lot. We do like little things.
Wait, it actually came to fruition?
Yeah, bitch.
Oh my God.
He said, look what she's doing to that guy. I could do that to you. And I said, bet. But of course, as soon as the vile act was over, because of Jesus, I thought I was immediately going to burst into flames. Like, I honestly thought I would die in my sleep because I deserved it, and I would wake up in hell.
Oh, that's...
I did.
There, you learn some fucked up things when you grow up in the church.
Can I tell you, at Grandma's funeral this weekend, it was a Catholic mass, which I don't recommend. It was...
New Pope.
There was so much... Chicago, Bears. There's so much... Save me from hell, save me from burning in a Catholic mass. Mm-hmm. It's bizarre. Once you've been out of it for a while, to come back to a church and to hear the preacher like offering, like, this is it's a funeral mass, so it's supposed to bring comfort. But within that comfort is like, and thank you, Lord, for saving us from burning in hell, burning for all eternity. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing? She's already dead. Leave her alone. Anyway, so we do the thing. I think I'm gonna die. Honestly, I thought, I will be in hell. I'll wake up in hell. There's no way I'm surviving the night. He wants to cuddle. Like, once it's over, he wants to cuddle. But I think we're going to burst into flames. So I'm like, no. And I keep like pushing away from him till finally, in the middle of the night, I get up out of the like king size bed that we were in. And I go and just sleep on the ground. Because I'm like, if he continues to cuddle me, then my entire family will die. I'm not kidding. I was nuts.
Oh, no, you poor thing.
So I'm on the ground, kind of sleeping and crying.
Oh, you poor thing.
And that was my first time.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that romantic?
That's crazy.
And then when he moved, he would call and we would have phone sex. Yeah. Now that I don't regret. That's a good time.
Well, speaking of faggots, here we go.
Oh, sure.
This is our next email. Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get a new phone case?
I did.
I love how you spend money.
Actually,
okay.
I got another new phone case, but it's not coming for like a month, so I just grabbed that one real quick because my other phone case is falling apart. Just go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Darby and Alexis. I'm gay, and my boyfriend is a Christian. Ooh, no. So I showed him some... That was probably bad. I shouldn't have started that way.
Trauma.
No. So I showed him some clips from Darby's hit podcast, 20 Window, because I thought he might find it interesting.
Wait, I didn't mean to pick this email.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We don't talk about
You
that.
can't deal with the fact that I have something outside of you.
No, I want you to
20
only
Windows,
have things
my pet project.
inside
You're
of me.
my pet burden. Whenever I talk to my boyfriend about Darby, I refer to her as the gay drag queen twin. Also, I wanted to let you know that my boyfriend said he's more attracted to Darby than her straight twin brother, which I understand is a rare opinion to have. It is. I never thought I was ugly until 20 Window. Thank you so much to Brian. I'm going to kiss you on the mouth.
Don't say that, Darby.
Recently,
you thought you're ugly before.
Recently, I've had moments. Recently, my boyfriend was talking about a gay movie that uses F slurs and how apparently that word is being reclaimed. To which I responded that a lot of queer YouTube channels use the F slur, including IMHO. Well, thank you, Devin. You didn't have to say that. I then wondered out loud if there's any penalties for using the F slur on YouTube, like demonetization. And I thought about it more, and I added, well, IMHO seems to be doing fine because they get ad sponsors. To which my boyfriend asks, is the reason they get sponsors because they use the F slur? The question made me laugh so hard. Like, was Surfshark on the fence about sponsoring you guys? But was like, well, they do say the word faggot a lot, which we love. So yeah, could you let my boyfriend know how many sponsors you have gotten specifically because you used the word faggot? I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Devin, and then in parentheses, and Brian.
Brian, thank you so much for I can go ahead and answer this.
I want to kiss you on the mouth.
We have gotten so many. We actually have to turn a lot down.
Yeah. We get a ton of sponsors who specifically just want us to say that word. They don't even want us to mention the product.
Wait, let's talk about this. As a trans woman, parentheses me.
Yeah.
But I was deep undercover as a gay man for years. I feel like my opportunities to say the F slur are dwindling. I don't think I should be allowed to say it anymore. What do you think? As one, what do you think?
You're a trans woman.
Yeah.
You've done the legwork of the faggotry. You were
I've
you
tried.
were-
I wasn't super successful at doing the legwork.
but you were very faggot, okay?
Yeah.
And you
By
survived
default,
that.
by default, 'cause
And
I
now
was
you're
under-
a
I was
trans
under-
woman
Yeah.
who is going through so much. I don't think we should be telling trans women what to say and what not to say.
Let's sit in that truth for a moment.
Although I am your boss, so I can tell you what to say and what not to say. You know what? For the rest of this podcast, don't use any verbs.
Okay.
Listen, we've gotten
Real quick. Can I have a clarification on that?
Yeah.
A verb is an action, right? It's an action word.
For the purposes of this,
Yeah.
yes, that's all it is.
But that's what it is, right?
It's more than that, but yes, that's all that it is now.
What is more than that?
Oh no, I confused her. You're a pirate. Yes, it's an action word. Jump and sit.
Wasn't it jumping and sitting?
Those are action words. He jumped. He sat.
Thank you.
Okay. Early on, when we started the IMHO of it all, we did get comments of people saying that they didn't like that we used the F slur, that they didn't think it was fun, it was funny, there's trauma and whatever. And valid. Super valid, sure. And so we did for a long time try not to say it or we'd bleep it. And honestly, I completely understand if maybe you're not in a safe space. And so hearing it in your YouTube world where you feel like that's your safe space, like your people using the word, maybe makes you uncomfortable because you don't feel safe in your everyday life. And that sucks. It is a word that it was used against me by people I loved growing up, and it was really painful. And so the fact that I can say it and laugh, really, it feels good. I'm sorry, it does. And so
You're
healing.
Thank you.
Yeah. What were you about to say?
I was about to say, but I can't say verbs.
Well, you can't say are. Are's a verb.
You.
Thank you. So I understand that it's not for everybody. And if you don't like hearing a faggot say faggot, we are not the show for you. And I completely understand. I respect you and I love you. But no, advertisers don't like when we say it. So obviously we can't say it during an advertisement. And there's also some rules around some advertisers where we can't say anything like that. Use any curse words or whatever in a certain amount of time before and after the ad. So it is something I keep in mind, but a faggot's got a faggot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I agree. Is agree a verb?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Oh,
since
did I just smudge my lips?
I can't see. Hold on. Look normal. Like do regular. No, you didn't.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have a Death Equal. It's time for our hit segment, Death Equals Lady. Boop. Can I do verbs again?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm Avery. I'm 19 from Ontario, Canada, and I'm a huge lesbian fan.
Wait, what's the huge part?
I don't know.
You're a huge fan or you're a huge lesbian? Or you're both?
I think they're a fan of huge lesbians.
Oh, same.
Or no, they're a huge fan of lesbians.
I feel safe when I'm around a huge lesbian.
Yes. Well, listen, Avery has a story and a question
Or a
for
little
us.
short one. I love a short lesbian. They're powerful.
I love them all.
They're powerful.
I love all God's creatures.
They're very powerful.
Okay, my step aunt's dad recently died. She
My
died.
what?
Her step aunt's dad.
Step aunt?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that a thing?
Yeah, when your uncle gets married to a different.
Can I tell you? I had a very similar, and I don't remember any of the details around it. I just remember her response.
Oh, good.
But I was saying something about that Curtis, this was a while ago, but we were talking to Curtis's mom about some sort of family member. And I was like, oh, well, what is that person to me? Yeah. Meaning like to me and Curtis, you know,
Yeah.
like what is that person to me? Expecting her to say second cousin or whatever. And she goes, well, you married into the family, so you're nothing. Or something like, she didn't mean it like that, but I was like, oh, I'm nothing to them. Okay, great.
I'm nothing
Anyway,
to
keep
my
going.
family. I'm nothing to
Well,
my
that's because of the
my
choices
aunts and
you've
uncles.
made. The choices you've made to grow your own boobs have not brought you together.
My step aunt's dad recently died. Parentheses.
That's
She
sad.
died in September. Now my cousin, the guy's
What date? September what?
This is a real, it's kind
Answer
of
the question.
It doesn't say, but it's kind of a word problem.
Okay.
It's not that long. Can I?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
I don't mean to
No.
police
No,
your
no, no.
words or your body.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm used to it.
My step-aunt's dad recently died. She died in September. My cousin, the guy's biological grandfather, is a born-again Christian.
Okay.
Oh, step-aunt's dad. And then that guy's biological grandfather is a born-again Christian and had made clear homophobic comments and is notorious for putting her newfound faith before her family.
Right.
Anyway, my step-grandfather-in-law suffered from ALS and eventually lost the ability to swallow. I'm not laughing. And relied on everyone to wipe his ass, feed him, and everything. He was truly living in hell. That's really sad. I'm sorry I laughed. Darby's making me laugh.
I'm not. I'm
She's
looking
not
at you.
interjecting, and I'm not.
You told me not to.
But you don't usually do what I ask, so I got nervous. Okay.
I respect women.
Okay.
Sorry.
I laugh when I'm nervous. He decided to take.
Let me read it. Let me finish it. Did you read this before?
I did, but I forgot.
He decided.
I'm gonna pick a different one.
No.
I'm so sorry.
We're going to finish what you started, just like he did. He decided to take the assisted suicide route.
Darby.
After this, my cousin refused to go to his funeral because her faith is against this decision. She and him were super close until the moment he died. And with the fact that she just lost her mom, you would think she'd want to be closer to family, but she's instead choosing faith. In conclusion, do you think she will regret this decision? Love you all. Listen, I don't think...
Well, first of all, we're so sorry that you've lost so many people in your family recently.
Well, but you weren't related to any of them, so you were nothing to them.
No, that doesn't go. Listen,
No.
She's absolutely gonna. Well, maybe she
No.
won't. We were just talking
No.
on the way here about faith, choosing faith over family.
Yeah,
That's the central question of this podcast. I
Truly,
think.
though, I don't think. First of all, assisted suicide, death with dignity, I'm in full support of.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
people
I
who
am
are
too.
terminal should be able to choose to go with dignity. Sorry, whoa, liberal. But secondly,
You damn lib.
no, I think Christian people feel so. My brothers described this on our hit podcast when you went to a lot, but
You don't have to.
it's
listen.
because they're told the result of you not being so aggressive, the result of you not showing your faith so strongly is that those people will go to hell.
Oh yeah.
So
It
they
is-
feel
I mean,
justified
it's
in
like-
everything that they do because it's like, well, if I go, it shows that I supported that, which lessens my faith in a way, and
Yeah.
then I can't witness. And
It's the
I
same.
don't think she'll regret it.
It's
I don't.
the same thing. You're right. It's the same thing. I mean, if she does have a heart, if she has sense, it's the same thing with like MAGA. Sorry to be political, but it's this faith derogatory where it's like you have faith so hard that you're not going to let you're not so what if your kid's gay or if your kid's trans, you're never going to give an inch because your faith is more important in God or Trump, whatever.
It's truly like someone, like, think of your favorite book and you decide
The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss.
you decide that you are going to choose that book over your entire family, like a made up story. It's insane.
It is when
Anyway.
it kind of it kind of boils down to it. No
Okay, can I
offense,
tell you?
no offense to anyone's beliefs, but also offense.
Offense for sure.
But none of those people are listening to this, hopefully.
Can I tell? Well, and if you are, welcome. Can I tell you though? This weekend, I did meet some of Curtis's family are MAGA. Not most of them. I will tell you that most of the people I met this weekend were gay. There is so much gay on Curtis's mom's side of the family. I'm shocked that they were able to reproduce. But it is Florida.
Yeah.
And they are very Florida. They're people who live in Florida. And so there's the occasional Trumper. And I got sat across from this couple. I want to say they're in their 60s-ish.
Yeah.
And they're Disney adults. And they travel the world. I was fascinated by them. They travel the world, which I think is great. They get out of Florida to go travel the world. They just got back from Japan. It's amazing. But they only travel to go to Disney parks. And they don't actually look at anything else. And they refuse to eat anything but fast food while they're there because they're not there for
At least
weird
they're
food.
getting out.
No, I know. But it's just funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, they started a YouTube channel because they want to be one of those Disney adults that
What's their
films
channel?
the thing. I don't know. Anyway, so they're like, we're only, I think, like 300 or something subscribers away from being able to make some money off YouTube. I wish we'd started earlier. And I mean, this is like,
Were they asking you about your YouTube?
No, I didn't tell them about my YouTube. Because at one point she did ask what I did. And I was like, I'm a drag queen. And you could feel like the energies just kind of get sucked out of the room.
Yeah.
Because they're MAGA. So she probably thought I was grooming kids, which I do. I'll brush a kid's hair if I see it. Anyway, so...
I won't. I'll let it be messy.
So she's like, they're talking about they wish they'd gotten into YouTube earlier or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's... Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're filming so much. And if you enjoy it, that's so fun. I think I was like able to carry on that conversation because I'm nothing to them. I'm not related to them. So
Yeah.
I don't really care what they think. So
Yeah.
I was able to just kind of enjoy how silly the whole thing was.
Here, a lot of
And-
these people, when you meet in real life, are not the scary monsters they
Well-
appear to be online.
Because
They're also cowards.
they're easily manipulated.
Yes.
So they're not always...
willing to.
Well, they're not always, what's a nice way to say this? They're not always like super intelligent. That wasn't nice.
I don't think anyone disagrees with you. Annie, do you disagree with that?
Annie disagrees.
Or do you
Annie's-
thumbs
Annie
up
leans
if you
right.
agree?
Annie leans right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she
Annie
agrees.
She loves states' rights. Okay, she always has. Anyway, and he's like 6'8". He's like this giant country man. He's like, you know what I need? I need a viral video. That's all I need. I need one good viral video. And I have an idea. I'll tell you the idea, but I don't think we can do it. So we have 7 cats. And I'm not kidding. This is real. This really happened in the lobby of a Homewood Suites.
Just film this. That's your viral video.
100%. We have 7 cats. So my idea is I get one goldfish and I put it in a bowl. And then I put the bowl on the floor and I just put all the cats around it and just see what they do. But, you know, we can't do that because it'd probably make people upset and then they'd start protesting. And then under her breath, his wife goes, ugh, activists. And I was obsessed. I grabbed Curtis's arm and just squeezed it so hard because I just wanted them to keep talking. And I was like, yeah, activists. I mean,
What were their cats' names? Happy, Dopey, Sleazy, Sneezy, Grumpy,
probably.
Doc?
Can I tell you though,
Wait.
something that was so cunt?
Happy, Dopey, Sleepy, Sneezy, Grumpy, Dopey, Doc. Did I say Dopey twice?
I don't know.
I said Dopey for this finger. So Happy, Grumpy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Dumpy. wait, Dumpy.
What does that one do? He shits.
Okay, wait.
Oh, honey, he shits.
Wait. Happy, Dopey, Sleepy, Sneezy, Grumpy, Doc, Bashful. It's because Bashful is different. Like in the mouth, it plays different.
Right. It's got different letters.
It's all Opie and then Doc, but then Bashful.
Yeah, bashful's weird. And it's like, okay, your quality is you're shy. Grow up. But the thing that I thought was so cunt about her was she had a she had a Pandora bracelet.
Oh no!
Which, number one, I love. I would love a Pandora bracelet. I know they're tacky. I think I could pull it off.
I basically gave you one the last time we were here from the cruise.
No.
That was basically a Pandora.
No.
It was on the cruise though, so
And
it was more like
you
a
take it,
Poseidon.
every time you take it off, all of the charms fall off.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not great. It's not great. It's not
You have
great
to keep-
design.
well,
And they weren't picked for me. So anyway, but it is jam packed. Her Pandora bracelet is I mean, there's not a spot left. It is all charms.
did she get it on her travels or what?
Girl, I was like, I love your bracelet. And she goes, oh, it's Pandora. And I was like, oh, that's jam packed. I don't think I've ever seen a Pandora bracelet like that. And she was like, well, I'm trying to get all the Disney ones. So these are all the Disney ones I could fit. And they're just all random Disney Pandora charms. And I got to say, I loved it.
You know,
I lived for
you
it.
know, allegedly before Walt Disney went into cryogenics, he wrote "Kill Goofy" on a slip of paper on his desk and then disappeared, and no one knows why.
What?
So thanks for listening. This has been
He's-
another episode.
He was anti-Semitic, though, so we don't listen. Walt Disney can eat my ass.
Yeah,
Anyway,
his
but,
head can. It's still frozen somewhere.
What were we talking about? Death? Who died? Oh,
Avery,
okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, but as people age and they get to the point where possibly they'd rather just be dead than be alive anymore, I think they should be allowed to do that. For instance, my father, he fell today, and we thought it was the big one. Turns out he was so constipated. He
Wait. Wait. He's a bad person and he refuses to make amends towards you, but We can't laugh at that because karma. This is
No,
we
I
can
know.
laugh at it privately, but on the
He's hurt me
on the
so much.
radio,
You shut the fuck up.
No, of course, but we can't laugh on the radio.
He was so constipated, he passed out.
Yeah.
And while he laid on the ground near the toilet, waiting on an ambulance to come get him off the ground, covered in his own shit. Because I guess maybe it was a mental block. Because as soon as he passed out, the poop came out. Anyway.
Well, I think you were saying every time
was
he
praying
falls.
out loud.
Okay.
He goes, Lord, I don't ever want to be in this much pain ever again. I think just bring me home. It's time to bring me home. And then he was telling my brother that. And he falls a lot now because he gets constipated and
he's
passes out.
really into slapstick.
He is committed strong. Grant usually asks, like, why do you think God didn't take you to heaven right at that moment? And Dad's answer is always, well, I guess God's got a plan for me still. And Grant always says, is that maybe to reconcile with all of the children you've alienated? And then Dad's response is always, no. And I respect
not
that.
it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's kind.
10 toes
That's
down,
kind.
10
Yeah.
toes down in the shit that you just.
But I think he should be able to kill himself if he wants to.
Yeah.
Bye, Nick.
Well, thank you to everyone who wrote in today. We love getting your emails, IMHOthepodcast at gmail.com. We love these shorter ones. So thank you for writing them in. The P today does stand for...
Patchouli.
No, it stands for a little groundhog named Phil and his beloved wife Phyllis. The Ballad of Phil and Phyllis is a song that's on Spotify and wherever you get your songs. I can't stop listening to it.
Phil love the future. That
No,
one?
have you listened to it though?
Yes, of course I have.
I'm obsessed. Joy Woods and that other gentleman, at Olive Sings on TikTok.
Speaking of Joy Woods,
I
I've
love
been
his
listening
voice
to
as much as hers.
The Gypsy.
Is it good?
We should sing If Mama Were Married.
I have only been
Let me tell you
asking for
this.
us to do
Let me
that
tell you
for
this.
years.
Let me tell you this. I listened to it knowing full well that Joy Woods was going to be amazing. Miss Old June.
Yeah.
Incredible. An
Can I see you
incredible
back
child
here?
singer.
Can I see you back here? I have been asking for us to sing that
We
duet.
can't hear you off that.
But I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. I have been asking for us to sing that for many years. So now we can.
I needed Joy Woods to show me.
For a woman named Joy, she makes me cry. Her voice is beautiful.
She brings me so much joy.
Yeah.
I wish she would.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Opinion. IMHO.